Once upon a time, in a bustling city, lived a young man named Ravi. Ravi wasn't just an ordinary guy. He was a security expert, strong, serious, and always ready to protect anyone who needed his help. But underneath his tough appearance, Ravi had a secret. He was very awkward around women. He could face any danger, but one smile from a girl would make him blush and look away. One day, Ravi got a phone call from his boss, Mr. Kapoor, the head of a security agency. "Ravi," Mr. Kapoor said in his deep voice, "we have a very special client for you. She's the daughter of one of the richest men in the country." Ravi took a deep breath and replied, "Yes, sir. I'll handle it." "Good," Mr. Kapoor continued. "Her name is Aisha, and she needs a bodyguard right away. You must protect her from any danger, no matter what." Ravi didn't know much about Aisha. He only heard that she was famous on social media, loved by many, and followed by photographers everywhere. What could possibly go wrong, he thought, trying to stay calm. When Ravi arrived at the big, luxurious mansion, he noticed dozens of people rushing around. He walked into the large hall with sparkling chandeliers, and there she was, Aisha, sitting on a couch with a magazine in her hand, wearing huge sunglasses and sipping juice through a straw. Aisha looked up, raised an eyebrow, and smirked. "Are you my new babysitter?" Ravi, standing straight, said confidently, "No, ma'am. I'm here to protect you." She laughed and rolled her eyes. "Protect me from what? Fans who want selfies? Or maybe my crazy ex-boyfriend who keeps calling me?" Ravi didn't react. He was serious and focused on his duty. Aisha tried to shake him. She waved her hand in front of his face. "Hey, do you even smile, Mr. Bodyguard?" Ravi clenched his jaw and said, "My name is Ravi, and I'm here for your safety, not entertainment." Aisha laughed again. "Oh, this is going to be fun," she said, clearly enjoying the situation. "Well, Mr. Serious Ravi, I hope you can keep up." That same day, Aisha had a photo shoot in a park nearby, and Ravi was right behind her, looking around and scanning the crowd, just like a true professional. But Aisha seemed to find him amusing and kept making faces at him. During the shoot, Aisha whispered to her assistant, "Watch this." Then she turned to Ravi and shouted, "Ravi, there's a bee. It's coming towards me." Ravi jumped up and tried to swat the air, looking awkward but determined, until he realized there was no bee at all. Everyone laughed, and even Ravi couldn't help but feel embarrassed. Aisha gave him a teasing smile. "Come on, bodyguard. Don't you have a sense of humor?" Ravi took a deep breath and said, "My job is to keep you safe, not laugh at silly jokes." Aisha was taken aback. "Wow, you're really serious, aren't you?" But as they left the photo shoot location, things took a turn. A group of reporters surrounded Aisha, asking questions and flashing cameras in her face. Aisha looked overwhelmed, so Ravi stepped in, holding his hand up and firmly telling the reporters, "Please step back." He managed to clear a path, guiding Aisha to the car. She was silent, watching him with a mix of surprise and gratitude. On the way home, Aisha suddenly said, "You're not bad at your job, Mr. Ravi. I mean, you're still super serious and boring, but not bad." Ravi replied, "Thank you, ma'am." Aisha rolled her eyes. Stop calling me Mom. It makes me feel old. All right, Aisha, Ravi said, trying to sound casual. She grinned. See, was that so hard? But just as they were relaxing, something unexpected happened. A motorbike came speeding towards their car from the side, and the rider was yelling, Aisha, Aisha, I love you. Ravi acted fast. He told the driver, speed up. But the motorbike kept following them. Aisha started to panic. Oh no, not another crazy fan. Without hesitating, Ravi grabbed his walkie-talkie and called for backup. The car zoomed through the streets, but the motorbike wouldn't stop following. Ravi turned to Aisha and said, Stay low. I'll take care of this. Aisha was actually impressed. She never thought her boring bodyguard would handle things with such confidence. Eventually, the car took a sharp turn, and they lost the biker. Ravi made sure they were safe before they finally returned to the mansion. As soon as they got inside, Aisha turned to Ravi and said, Okay, I'll admit it. You're kind of cool. Ravi just nodded, not saying a word. Aisha seemed a little annoyed that he didn't react, but she smiled anyway. Fine, keep your secret bodyguard face, but you've earned my respect, Ravi. But before Ravi could even respond, they heard another voice. Ravi, come quickly. It was Mr. Kapoor on the phone, with news that left them both stunned. Back at the mansion, Ravi answered his phone. Mr. Kapoor's voice was serious. Ravi, I have some critical information. There's someone dangerous trying to get close to Aisha. We don't know who, but this person is after her for something important. Ravi's face turned even more serious. Understood, sir. I'll stay with her at all times. Mr. Kapoor added, Ravi, remember, this isn't just about her safety. Make sure no one finds out about this. Not even Aisha. Ravi nodded, although he felt a bit uneasy. He had to keep this a secret from her. But why? The next morning, Aisha was planning to go shopping. She was excited and already picking out her favorite outfits, while Ravi waited outside her room, ready to follow her wherever she went. As they reached the mall, Aisha was thrilled. She ran from one shop to another, trying on shoes, dresses, and even hats. Ravi, on the other hand, stood near her with his usual serious expression, scanning the area for any possible threats. Aisha noticed and chuckled. Ravi, relax. No one is coming to attack me in a clothing store. She held up a bright pink dress and asked, What do you think? Does this suit me? Ravi replied, My job is to protect you, not give fashion advice. Aisha rolled her eyes. Oh, come on, live a little. You're not just a bodyguard. You're let's call you my shadow. She laughed at her own joke, while Ravi simply nodded, staying alert. But Aisha seemed determined to make him relax. She grabbed a funky hat, placed it on Ravi's head, and grinned. There. Now, you look like a real undercover agent. Ravi tried to take it off, but she stopped him, laughing. Keep it. It's part of the disguise. Just as they were leaving the store, Ravi noticed someone suspicious. A man wearing a black hoodie, watching them closely from the corner. Ravi felt a sudden chill and moved closer to Aisha. Aisha, stay close to me, he whispered. Aisha was confused, but she followed him without question. As they walked, Ravi noticed the man following them through the mall. He took Aisha's hand and led her quickly toward the exit, blending into the crowd. Once they were outside, Ravi turned to Aisha. "We need to go back, now." Aisha didn't understand, but she trusted him. They hurried back to the car, and Ravi kept looking around to make sure no one was following them. The man in the black hoodie had disappeared, but Ravi knew something wasn't right. Once they were safe at home, Aisha confronted him. "Ravi, what's going on? Why did we have to leave so suddenly?" Ravi hesitated but replied, "It's for your safety, Aisha. Trust me." Aisha's eyes narrowed. "You're hiding something from me, aren't you?" Ravi looked down, not answering. Aisha crossed her arms and smirked. "Fine. If you're not going to tell me, I'll find out myself." Ravi felt a bit nervous. He knew Aisha was stubborn and would keep pushing until she got answers. But for now, he was more focused on keeping her safe. That night, while everyone in the mansion was asleep, Ravi was awake, keeping an eye on the security cameras. He was sitting in the control room, watching the screens, when he suddenly noticed a shadow moving outside the mansion. His heart raced. Could it be the man from the mall? Without wasting a second, Ravi grabbed his flashlight and rushed outside, making sure to be quiet. As he stepped out into the dark, he saw a figure standing near the garden, facing away from him. "Hey! Stop right there!" Ravi shouted. The figure turned around, and it was none other than Aisha, wrapped in a blanket and holding a flashlight of her own. "Aisha? What are you doing here?" Ravi asked, stunned. Aisha smiled mischievously. "I wanted to see if you were actually doing your job, or just sitting around watching TV." Ravi rolled his eyes. "Aisha, it's dangerous to be outside at night." Aisha shrugged. "Relax, Mr. Bodyguard. I just wanted some fresh air. But since you're here, mind joining me for a midnight walk?" Ravi sighed, knowing he couldn't say no. He stayed close to her as they walked through the garden. Aisha kept trying to start small talk, asking him questions about his life, his favorite movies, and even if he had a girlfriend. Ravi dodged every question, staying focused on the surroundings. Finally, Aisha said, "You know, Ravi, you could at least pretend to have a personality. It's okay to talk sometimes, you know." Ravi replied, "Talking isn't necessary for protection." Aisha groaned. "Fine, be a robot. But don't blame me if I fall asleep out of boredom." Suddenly, there was a rustling noise nearby. Both of them froze. Ravi motioned for Aisha to stay behind him and quietly moved towards the sound. His heart was pounding as he approached the bushes, ready for anything. But then, out jumped a stray cat, meowing loudly. Aisha burst out laughing, clutching her stomach. "Oh, Mr. Super Serious Bodyguard is scared of a little kitty." Ravi felt embarrassed, but kept his focus. "Aisha, it's not funny. We have to be careful." Aisha smiled playfully. "Fine, Mr. Serious, but you have to admit, that was hilarious." As they turned to head back, Aisha whispered, "You know, Ravi, I feel safe with you." Ravi was silent, but for the first time, he gave her a small smile. The next morning, while Ravi was checking in with Mr. Kapoor, he received shocking news. "Ravi," Mr. Kapoor said, his voice tense. "I just found out that someone close to Aisha may be involved in this threat. We're looking into everyone around her." Ravi's eyes widened. Someone close to Aisha? He thought about the people in the mansion. Her friends, her assistants, even her family. "Understood, sir," Ravi replied. "I'll keep a close watch." But now, Ravi's job became even harder. Not only did he have to protect Aisha from outside threats, but he also had to figure out who, among her own circle, was a danger to her. And this time, he knew he couldn't keep it a secret from her forever. A few days later, things started to feel tense in the mansion. Ravi was on high alert, especially after learning that someone close to Aisha might be a threat. His eyes were sharp, watching everyone, from the friendly house staff to Aisha's stylish best friend Priya, who seemed to visit a little too often. Ravi's mind was busy trying to figure out who could be after Aisha. He thought about all the people in her life and their motives. Could it be Priya, who sometimes seemed jealous of Aisha's fame? Or was it her driver, who seemed unusually quiet these days? One evening, as Ravi was patrolling the mansion, he noticed something strange. Aisha was having a private conversation with Priya in her room. She looked worried, and Priya was whispering urgently, glancing around nervously. Ravi couldn't hear their words, but he felt that something wasn't right. The next morning, Aisha came up to Ravi with a serious look on her face. "Ravi, I need to talk to you," she said, leading him to a quiet corner of the garden. Once they were alone, Aisha spoke in a low voice. "I know you're here to protect me, and I appreciate it. But there's something I haven't told anyone, not even my father." Ravi listened carefully, sensing the seriousness in her voice. Aisha continued, I've been receiving strange letters. They're not like fan mail. They're personal, as if someone's been watching me. They know things about my life that only my close friends would know. And the letters keep saying that they'll reveal my dark secrets if I don't meet them. Ravi's expression grew intense. "Why didn't you tell anyone, Aisha?" "I didn't want to worry my dad, but it's getting scarier every day." Ravi nodded. "From now on, you're not alone, not even for a second. I'll protect you, no matter what." Aisha gave him a soft smile, relieved. For the first time, she felt truly safe. That night, as Aisha was preparing to go to bed, Ravi noticed something odd. The lights in her room flickered, and he heard a strange tapping sound at her window. A chill ran down his spine. Ravi quickly rushed to her room and knocked. "Aisha, are you okay?" When she opened the door, her face was pale. "Ravi, there was someone outside my window. I saw a shadow." Without wasting time, Ravi moved to the window and looked out. The figure was gone, but he saw footprints on the ground below. Someone had been watching her room. "We need to increase security," Ravi said, his jaw clenched. But Aisha stopped him. "No, Ravi. If we bring more security, everyone will find out. Please, keep it between us. I don't want people to know." Ravi sighed. It was a risky decision, but he wanted to respect her wishes. The next day, Aisha's best friend, Priya, came over again, looking worried. She pulled Aisha aside, but Ravi followed them, staying close by. Aisha, you have to be careful. I heard some rumors that someone is trying to ruin your reputation. They're saying terrible things about you, Priya whispered. Aisha looked shocked. But why would anyone want to do that? Priya shrugged. Some people are just jealous, I guess. But I thought you should know. Ravi listened closely. Something about Priya's words felt off. He couldn't shake the feeling that she knew more than she was saying. Later that evening, as Ravi was discussing security plans with Mr. Kapoor on the phone, he mentioned Priya's visit. Mr. Kapoor's voice was tense. Ravi, keep an eye on that girl. Priya has been Aisha's friend for a long time, but we recently learned she's in debt. A lot of money. Be careful. Ravi's mind raced. Could Priya be the one sending the letters? She had access to Aisha's life, her secrets, and she was acting strangely these days. Ravi decided he needed more information. He started watching Priya's every move, quietly gathering clues, hoping to uncover the truth before it was too late. One night, while Aisha was out for a late dinner with some friends, Ravi got a call from an unknown number. He answered, and a deep, distorted voice spoke. Ravi, you think you can protect her? You don't even know who's after her. If you want to keep Aisha safe, stay out of this, or you'll both regret it. Ravi's blood ran cold. The call disconnected, leaving him feeling uneasy. He knew he was getting close to the truth, and that someone was watching his every move. The next morning, Ravi made a bold decision. He couldn't wait any longer. He needed to confront whoever was threatening Aisha. Sir, I'm going to find out who's behind this, he informed Mr. Kapoor over the phone. Ravi, do whatever it takes to keep her safe. I trust you, Mr. Kapoor replied. With his mission clear, Ravi began tailing Priya, Aisha's friend. He watched her meet with the mysterious man at a local cafe, speaking in hushed voices and looking around nervously. After they parted ways, Ravi followed the man to a remote warehouse outside of town. That night, as Aisha was about to leave a party with her friends, Ravi noticed a black car slowly circling the venue. His instincts told him something wasn't right. Just as Aisha walked outside, the car sped toward her, and a group of men jumped out. They grabbed her arm, and she let out a terrified scream. But Ravi was ready. In a split second, he ran toward them, shouting, "Aisha, get down!" He tackled one of the men, landing a powerful punch that sent him stumbling. Another attacker swung at Ravi, but Ravi dodged and delivered a quick kick, knocking him down. Aisha watched, her heart racing as Ravi fought off each man with intense focus. Finally, the attackers retreated, speeding away in the car, leaving Ravi and Aisha alone in the night. "Are you all right?" Ravi asked, his breathing heavy but eyes still sharp. Aisha nodded, shaken but relieved. "Ravi, I've never felt safer. Thank you." After the attack, Aisha started to see Ravi differently. He wasn't just her bodyguard. He was her protector, her hero. She admired his bravery, his loyalty, and how he put himself at risk to keep her safe. One evening, while they were walking in her garden, Aisha confessed. Ravi, I don't know what I would do without you. You're not just my bodyguard. You're more than that. Ravi felt a warmth he hadn't expected. He had always maintained a strict professional boundary, but hearing her say this made his heart beat faster. They shared a long, silent look, and in that moment, something changed between them. Ravi felt a surge of emotions he hadn't allowed himself to feel before. Was he falling for her? One day, after a particularly dangerous run-in with the mysterious man, Aisha finally broke down. She hugged Ravi, tears streaming down her face. Ravi, I can't pretend anymore. I feel safe only when I'm with you. Ravi looked at her, his own emotions flooding over him. Aisha, I feel the same way. Their eyes met, and for the first time, they embraced without worry, letting their feelings show. It was as if, in that moment, the world around them disappeared. With Ravi and Aisha now realizing their feelings for each other, their bond grew even stronger. But Ravi knew he had to end the danger surrounding Aisha once and for all. He couldn't let her live in fear. One night, Ravi finally found the lead he was looking for. He discovered that Priya, Aisha's closest friend, had been working with a shady group. They had been trying to blackmail Aisha, hoping to ruin her career and reputation to get money from her family. Ravi decided it was time to confront Priya and put an end to this once and for all. Ravi planned to meet Priya in a remote location, away from the mansion. He arrived first, hiding in the shadows, waiting for her to show up. When she did, he stepped forward, catching her off guard. Priya, it's over. I know everything, Ravi said, his voice calm but firm. Priya laughed nervously, trying to talk her way out of it. Oh, Ravi, I don't know what you're talking about. But Ravi didn't back down. You tried to hurt Aisha, your best friend, for money. Why would you betray her like that? Priya's face changed, and she dropped her fake smile. You don't understand, Ravi. I needed the money, but Aisha always has everything. Fame, fortune, while I have nothing. Ravi shook his head. That's no excuse, Priya. You put her life in danger, and now you're going to face the consequences. Suddenly, Priya's accomplices, 3 men who had been hiding nearby, appeared and lunged at Ravi. But Ravi was ready. With quick moves and skill, he fought them off, protecting himself and thinking only of Aisha's safety. It was a tough fight, but Ravi's strength and determination overpowered them. Just as the fight ended, police sirens sounded in the distance. Ravi had secretly called the authorities beforehand, knowing he might need backup. Priya and her accomplices were arrested, and the threat to Aisha was finally gone. After the danger was gone, Ravi returned to the mansion to find Aisha waiting for him, worry etched on her face. When she saw him, she ran to him, tears in her eyes. Ravi, I was so scared, but I knew you'd come back. Ravi smiled, holding her close. I promised I would protect you, didn't I? In that moment, surrounded by the quiet of the mansion, Ravi and Aisha shared their first kiss, sealing their bond and their love for each other. They knew they had found something special, a love that had blossomed through trust, bravery, and sacrifice. A few months later, Aisha and Ravi announced their relationship to the world. Her father, Mr. Kapoor, fully supported them, proud of Ravi for being the hero who saved his daughter. With Priya and the threats behind them, Ravi and Aisha started a new life together, free of fear. Aisha continued her career with Ravi by her side as her partner and protector.